Coach Prime just told all of his critics to shut all the way up. There has not been a single team that has been more active in the recruiting and transfer portal than the Colorado Buffaloes have over the past 96 hours. I mean, yeah, it's all cool that they brought in 4-star wide receivers Draylon Miller and Cameron McKell, but they went ahead and addressed their biggest issue. An issue that an anonymous coach said there was no way in hell that Colorado was going to be able to fix. And that was their offensive line. After coming off of a year where Colorado ranked second worst amongst all FBS teams, allowing 56 sacks, and sixth worst amongst Power 5 teams for tackles for loss, giving up 86 tackles for loss in a season, Coach Prime knew that he had one area to address, and that was their offensive line. This isn't news to Coach Prime or the Colorado Buffaloes. Here's what Coach Prime had to say about their offensive line. When you watch this play, what did you say? Oh boy, if they just had some protection for Shedeur, or if they could just get after the passer. Oh yeah, they would be. We're going to address that. We got to address that in the portal and from the high school ranks. You gotta understand, high school to me is like draft choices in the NFL. The portal is free agency, and we're in free agency right now. And I'm thankful that we will have the wherewithal to get what we need. Now, heading into this 2024 recruiting season, there were a lot of question marks around Coach Prime. You know, he's coming off of a year where, depending on who you ask, Coach Prime either underperformed or overperformed. To me, he performed exactly where I thought Colorado was going to be. I thought they were going to win some games. I thought they were going to be a much improved team, but there were going to be some glaring weaknesses, specifically around the offensive and defensive linemen that came to fruition. If you don't believe me, go check out all my old videos. I was literally saying this before the season even started. But overall, Coach Prime had a phenomenal track record going into this offseason of showing that he could recruit extremely well. There was only one problem. He hadn't shown that he could recruit offensive and defensive linemen. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was able to bring in the top 2 corners in back-to-back classes in Travis Hunter and then turning around and picking up Cormani McClain. He's also brought in some big-time wide receivers from the transfer portal. I mean, he completely revamped that Colorado wide receiver room from the transfer portal alone. But when you're thinking about those big guys on the offensive and defensive linemen, you didn't think of Colorado, and you definitely didn't think of Coach Prime. Well, oh boy, have things changed in that area. Like I said earlier in the video, Coach Prime has spent the last 96 hours completely tailoring a brand new offensive line for the Buffaloes heading into the 2024 season. Everybody said that Coach Prime needed some big boys on that offensive line. Well, he got some big boys. Bringing in guys like 6'3", 267-pound transfer from UConn, Yakiri Walker, 6'5", 320-pound transfer from Houston, Tyler Johnson, 6'3", 309-pound transfer from UTEP, Justin Mayers, and 6'6", 325-pound transfer from Indiana, Khalil Benson. On top of all that, the best pickup that they've made so far was by him shocking the college football recruiting world, landing the #1 offensive tackle in the entire country, 5-star recruit Jordan Seaton from IMG Academy. On top of that, they also have longtime JUCO commit Isaiah Walker Jr. from Butler Community College, standing at 6'4", 309 pounds already in their 2024 recruiting class. You know, there could be a lot of people who have negative things to say about Coach Prime, but the one thing that you cannot knock him on is that he understands exactly what his football team needs. Going into this season, if you're going to judge Coach Prime's entire coaching ability based off of this one season where Colorado didn't perform amazingly, then that's a shame on you. Just imagine taking take a football team and then go out and take a brand new football team and try and teach them everything that you know, a complete new philosophy. Anybody that did stay has a brand new coaching staff, and have all of them meshed together and go out there and win some games in Power 5 level football. I want y'all to go and do that, while also having every single camera that can possibly be out there on you and your program, waiting for you to mess up. Coach Prime has done everything that he can to set up his Colorado Buffalo team to be elite next year. The only area that you can say there is a little bit more desired to be is on that defensive line, but he's also addressed that as well. Coach Prime is bringing in 6'5", 237-pound 3-star edge rusher Amontre Bradford in their 2024 recruiting class, as well as 6'2", 250-pound 3-star defensive lineman Eric Brantley, 6'3", 307-pound 3-star defensive lineman Omar White, and 4-star defensive lineman standing at 6'3", 263-pound Brandon Davis Swain in their 2024 recruiting class. So far in this 2024 recruiting class, Coach Prime has brought in 9 players at key positions of need to help the Buffaloes in their next season. And guys, remember, a lot of the guys that are on the offensive and defensive line are coming back. And a lot of that, especially on that offensive line, a lot of that is just having to mesh together. You can't just throw together an offensive lineman. There needs to be a camaraderie. There needs to be a trust amongst that offensive line to know, hey, if I need help right here, you're gonna help me. You're gonna help me where I need to. There's so much talking that goes on in an offensive line that most people do not understand, that you cannot just throw together an offensive line and expect good things to happen. Coach Prime is laser focused on getting his Colorado Buffalo team ready for the 2024 season, heading into the Big 12, and getting them ready to not only be a dominant force on the offensive side of the ball, as far as a passing wise, but being able to run the ball as well as stopping the ball on the defensive side of the ball. Here's what Coach Prime had to say about that. We have 2 priorities right now. We're gonna run the ball and we're gonna stop the run. We're going to protect Shedeur, so we're going to be very active in the portal. Offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, and a few corners. I'm looking for some dog corners from FCS schools. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking for you. You know I ain't hard to find. I'm going to find you. But that's what I want. We're going to put it together. I mean, you heard what Coach Prime said. He said it straight from his mouth. He knows what Colorado has to do. They need to be able to run the ball because they were dead last in FBS schools in average yards per game. They averaged less than 70 rushing yards a game and less than 2.5 yards a carry. And on top of that, in over 50% of their games, they gave up 200 yards rushing. You know what 200 yards rushing a game means? It means that your offense is going to be on the field less and less and less. It means that your defense is going to get worn out more throughout the entirety of the game, and it's just going to make it that much harder for you to mount a comeback. Overall, Coach Prime is doing everything that he needs to. If you do not believe in the Coach Prime hype, I don't know what to tell you. Colorado is going to be a completely different team next year, and all of the great things that we saw Colorado do, and like he said, man, if there was just somebody to protect Shedeur, man, if they just had a running game, man, if they could just stop the run. I'm not saying that all those questions are going to be answered perfectly, but they're definitely going to be answered. And we're going to see what Colorado looks like going into next year. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below because Coach Prime he's almost pulled off a miracle in what he's done in the last 96 hours. I have to hear what you guys have to say. Comment your thoughts down below on the additions that Coach Prime has brought into the Buffalo's 2024 recruiting class. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss when we drop these videos, keeping you up to date with everything that Coach Prime is doing and everything college football. I love and appreciate all y'all. Hope that you know that if you're going through anything, that you can always call upon Jesus Christ. It doesn't matter what, it literally doesn't matter what you are going through right now. There's nothing more that Jesus wants to do than bless you and help get you out of whatever situation you may be in. And remember, you're not hearing this by accident. Jesus wanted you to hear this. Love and appreciate all y'all. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.